Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the packet tracer activity 1.3.6 of our SRWE course. Here we are going to try to configure remote access to a switch, and we are going to allow access only through SSH, but not through telnet. So let's get going. This is the PT activity given to us. In this, if you look closely, we have been given an addressing table. This is a topology that we are given, where we have one PC and one switch. And the objectives of this particular PT activity are: you need to secure passwords, you need to encrypt your communications, and then you have to verify SSH implementation. So let us start step-by-step procedure of this particular activity. In part 1, it says secure passwords. Using the command prompt on PC1, telnet to S1. The user executive unprivileged executive password is Cisco. So let me click on PC1 and then let me go to desktop and then click on command prompt. So on this command prompt, it is asking me to telnet to S1. Now for me to remotely access this S1 switch here, this is the SVI address that has been given to me. Okay, so let me get on with that. So here, let me type in telnet, and the IP address is 10.10.10.2, enter. There you go. Now I'm able to access the switch from PC1 through via telnet. Now it is asking me for password. I can just type in Cisco, enter. There you go. Enable. So I'm actually able to get access. Then once again I can type in Cisco and press enter. So here now telnet access is available. I am able to access the switch remotely via telnet also. It's okay. Now save the current configuration so that any mistakes you might make be reversed by toggling the power for S1. Show the current configuration and note that the passwords are in plain text. Now for that I can do show running. Let me post the tab information and then press enter. Show running configuration. Running configuration. There you go. If you can see here, enable password is given as Cisco, and if I type in space bar, I can see the other lines that show password. You can see all the passwords are clearly being visible in plain text. This should not happen. So for that, what we can do here is we can type in configure terminal and service password and then tab service password encryption. Now with this, if you do the same show command again, I'm just coming it out, and you do the same show command again, show in configuration, all the passwords are now encrypted. The passwords that you have set are no longer visible in plain text anymore. All of them are encrypted now. Okay, this is what it is done here. Verify that all the passwords are encrypted. So part 1 is done. Now let me go to part 2. It says encrypt communications. Okay. So here, if you want to come out, you can just press the down arrow. Immediately, you will come out of that. You'll come out of the show command output. Now here, for me to do anything, I need to enter configure terminal, or short form is config. Configure terminal. So set the IP domain name and generate secure keys. For this IP domain name, the command that you need to do is netacad.pka. Enter. Then crypto key generate. I can use the tab command RSA. Enter. Now it will ask me for the size. Usually we give it 1024 key size. Press enter. That is also done. So I have created the IP domain name and I have set RSA encryption. Now this is done. Let me go to step 2. Step 2 here says create an SSH user. Create an SSH user. Give me a second. Let me just toggle this. Okay. So create an SSH user and reconfigure the VTY lines for SSH only access. Yes, we can do that. Now for that, you have to create a user and set a password for him. Okay. So if that is the case, the command that we can use is username administrator. Please make sure that it is spelled as it is given in your instructions. Administrator and secret. The password that we have to do is Cisco. So username administrator secret Cisco. That is how you create an entry. Okay. Now you have to configure the VTY lines. So for that line VTY 0 to 15, enter, and and it is asking me remove the existing VTY line password. For that, no password Cisco, because that is the one which is shown here. This is the password that is given over here. So I'm just typing it here. No password Cisco, enter. Then it is asking me to check the local username database for login credentials and to allow only SSH for remote access. If that is the case, what I need to do is I need to type in transport input SSH. When I type this command in, it will only allow SSH connection for remote connections only. So telnet will not be allowed. And then I have to type in login local, so that any access that is trying to do, any person who is trying to do a remote access should belong to the database that you just created. So login local and then enter. Okay. So I think we did everything. It's saying that, see, there you go. You can see the completion is 100%, but we need to verify whether we did everything in the right way or not. So for that part, what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to exit. Exit. I can do the copy thing also. Let me do that copy running config to startup config and press enter. This is a good thing. Now let me come out of this to exit once again. If I do the telnet thing again, if I try to access the switch via telnet, let me see what happens. 10.10.10.2 enter. There you go. You can see it is saying it is closed by foreign host. That means telnet connection to the switch is no longer allowed. What about SSH? You just type in SSH and press enter. It says how do you use SSH? SSH -L. It's not one, it's L. L username and target. If that is the case, I can type in SSH. You see, this is what it is written on the SSH -L space administrator space. What is the target? Once again, it is 10.10.10.2. Enter. It is asking me for the password. What is the password that you have set for this? We set it as Cisco, because here this is the command that we used. If you check it out, go back, swipe up a little bit. After you created the domain name, you have created the username administrator and secret key you are given as Cisco. This is the password that you should enter. If you don't use the password that is set using that command there, it will not allow you to access it. So CASCO Cisco and enter. There you go. You can check out the prompt now. Enable is once again asking me for that. I have the Cisco password and I can type in conft and I can do whatever I want. So this is how you perform an SSH configuration. You create a domain name, then you generate the key pairs, you create the username and passwords, you create a local database entry, and then restrict the access for your VTY lines through SSH only by implementing the command transport input SSH. In some cases, if you are unsure about the version, you can just always type in IP SSH2. That means it will actually enable SSH version 2. But once you type this, you can actually see it here. It shows that SSH 1.9 has been enabled. So you need not type in that command again. Okay. So with that, I'll stop this activity and we will proceed on the next activity where you are given a fresh canvas on packet tracer and you have to start from scratch, loading these things, then doing the connections between these different entities. So check out that next video. So thank you very much and good luck.